Welcome everybody. I'm sorry about that. We do have a different intro. I
I
wonder if
love
I should try to play that right now. Well, let's play the right intro. All right.
I love
And there you go.
that was great. I
I
love it.
think that was much better, don't you?
I loved both of them. They were actually pretty good.
I like the other one. I liked it. And if you look at the background, we're in the background now. We can go back to doing the way we did it before, but I'm seeing more and more times so when you do it side by side, you get the reaction of the other person and things like that. So I know when people see you looking down, you're actually watching me. So
Yeah. Well, my
yeah,
camera is up there and my monitor is right there. Sorry about that. I guess I
yeah.
could, like put one eye up and one. Maybe if I turn sideways.
Well, I actually need to get one of those monitors right
Yeah.
underneath you.
Like how the
Uh,
chameleons.
Well, I got it. It's like my camera's over here. If I'm looking right at my camera, it's right there, but I'm looking at you off to the side here.
Well,
So,
when Zane was here, he had it all set up a special way, and I just haven't had time to get in there and figure out what in the world he did because, like, I turned the one monitor on and it flushed my toilet, and the other one turned my microwave on. So I'm not sure.
I know, ain't that it's just so today we are actually live as well today.
Yes, live, 100% live.
I'm waiting for the the warning that we're talking
Oh
about
God.
the wrong things.
Yeah, we got to be so careful what we say because there's so many people that get and you can't even really say butt hurt
Yeah, you
because
can't
somebody
don't
gets
see
offended.
now
Can you
that's
say
gonna
butt
get
hurt?
bleeped. It's gonna be like, oh, you can't say that. You hurt some people's feelings
I'm
and
sorry, we
things like
can't
that.
change it to ass hurt. I mean,
Mm.
damn.
So
I'm
today
trying to be polite.
well, that's true. That's true. But what's really good about today? Today is Labor Day.
That's
And
right. Happy Labor Day.
yeah. And do you know what the meaning of Labor Day really
I
is?
sure do. It's all about the women when they're giving birth.
Yeah, you're gonna see. I'm the one that's supposed to make mistakes like that, not you.
Well, we
That's
labor to make a nation,
mm,
and
yeah.
it's a
No,
nation that is proud of what their accomplishments. So
no
when they
matter what you do, right?
or giving birth, yeah, as long as well, I mean, today I guess I think the opposite sex gives birth, but it's for women.
Yeah. So,
Hi, mom.
yeah. Well, here's the great thing. So, do you really know what Labor Day stands for?
You want me to tell you again?
Yeah. Because you were kind of wrong. And now this has become a school deal. So now you have to give the proper
It's about people sitting home collecting unemployment and not wanting to work. Yes.
Labor Day.
Yeah. But it just has a backwards clock on it there.
You're such a hillbilly. I swear to God. Labor Day, it's it's a day for us working people. We only get one day, one day a year. But, today,
One day a year to work.
yeah, one day off from work that we get in our Labor Day. It's a Labor Day. That's when it's the end of their summer. It gives you that one day, that one extra day to take a vacation, take the camper up, go somewhere like that, and it's just amazing. Um,
I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
well,
I
that's what Labor Day is, but no, 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 you work your butt off at the farm, and you get home, you get to spend 4 days with your friends and family. You're out riding quads, and you were having such a good time. The pictures you were sending, the movies you were sending, it just shows me that you're having a good time. And amongst everything that's going on in the world right now, you stepped outside of that and you had a real good time.
People just know what they don't understand or know what it's like to go out in the woods and square dance with Bigfoot. It's awesome. No, me and my family, we would go out and we'd do ATV riding all night. It doesn't matter if it's daylight or dark. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. We just love doing that. We love getting out and enjoying family time in nature.
It's actually true.
As long
That's
as you know
actually
me,
true.
that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, we are live tonight, and we don't normally do this, but
We're like,
yeah, we're live. Actually, I got a text from somebody just now, and this is what they told us. So this is coming from Terry. Why do you guys need to look in your eye on the monitors? Just look into the camera, talk to the camera, and picture the face is in front of you. And then he says, just talk like you guys did when you're on the radio. Don't concentrate on what you're doing on video. He's right. You have to admit it, right? You have to admit it. You
I'm gonna
just
have to put
can't
a
be
wig
left.
on back of my camera.
Well, the thing about it is I like to see reactions. So Terry,
Well,
you're
my
wrong.
camera needs to be like down here. Maybe I should have put it on back of my laptop. It'd make it a lot easier.
It might.
It, I just got so many cords back here. It's like, wow.
Spaghetti
You would
world.
think that something so simple would be, but it's not.
This wire goes here. Now this wire has to go on top of that wire, and that wire has to go on top of that wire. If you don't do it, then I lose all track of my setup.
Well, I've got a focus right back here. I've got the Bose mixer. I've got the cloud lifter. There's a lot of other little things back in between there from
Yeah,
whatever.
if people could see what's in front of me right now, that's why I'm moving. I have a new set I'm gonna be setting up in the next couple weeks. My son's gonna come over and help me move some things, and I'm gonna have a new walls behind me, and a little bit darker, kind of like a wine color. The walls will be kind of so that help with a little bit of lighting. I like things to be a little bit darker, So I think that'll actually be a good time. I'm actually excited about doing this more than I have been in a long time.
Well, it's a fun project.
Oh yeah, I mean, to not only that, I'll be able to set up a little bit different lighting because I think it's important. And then we can do like if you were to get it set up on the system like I have right now, the new one that we're using, I can literally put things up, show things to you, and our audience will see it in real time as well. I mean, anything that I want to do. I don't know it right now, but I will get to it. It just has a lot of bells and whistles that's made for live streaming and recording uh, really good shows. So
Awesome.
I think it's good. Speaking of good, you and I had been talking prior to the show. Topics. Chris and I always talk about certain things. Um, will say, well, what do you want to talk about today? And we give ourselves bounce ideas back and forth. And we don't even really talk about it. We just say, yeah, how about we talk about this? Yeah, that sounds good. Let's talk about this. Yeah, that sounds good. We got an hour to do a show, and um, which is
Blink of an eye.
exceptionally really cool. So
The last show, it was like, what? I mean, it seems like we were only on here for 10 or 15 minutes and it was over.
Yeah, and come to think about it, just think about this when we used to do shows for 4 to 5 hours. I
I
mean,
was
can you
in college
imagine?
full time. I was in college full time, a little
Yeah,
over full time, and,
yeah.
yeah, we'd start the morning meltdown so early in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I just wanna let you know Brenda says hi. She's
"Hi,
listening
Brenda.
to us right now. Yeah. So, hi, Brenda. Nice to see you again.
How's she been
Um,
doing?"
she's been doing good. She's got her own little business going on. She sells, um, oh, I forget. It's like things for, I don't know if they're for mostly guys or for women, and they're like, I think they're like bath salts and,
"Oh, no,
like
she's doing the
perfume.
bath salt like that last time we talked about bath salt, that guy was eating somebody." "Damn, Brenda, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, she's pushing. So anyway, but it's really good. If she sends us a link, we'll put her out there. If anybody remembers, Brenda used to be our PR specialist, and she used to get us some really big acts, a lot of people for our shows, and she is one of the pivotal people that actually made GHTR what it is today. I mean, she took us to the top, and we were really doing well, and we
Yeah,
miss you a
miss
lot.
you.
So yeah, we don't get to talk as much anymore, and it's sad. That's my fault. I just, going through a bunch of crap, and you kind of
But
lose
everybody seems like they go through that, especially today. This
Mhm.
world we live in, everybody is so busy doing whatever they gotta do to make ends meet, with the family and with, just, expenses and everything in general. We're
Mhm.
working our life away, and there's not much of a life that we have to do the fun things. It's not like we could work 3 days a week and the other days off just to, relax. It's the other way around,
Well,
or
I agree. I agree.
worse.
What could what could be any worse, right?
Well,
So,
I believe if we could make this world a better place,
mm.
first of all, I wanna be the world leader. I wanna
I don't think a lot of people would give you that opportunity.
probably not.
And not to say they wouldn't listen to some of your ideas, so.
Well, I do have some wild ideas. I've always had ideas. I've made ideas. I've made things actually work, uh, but I can't really get into them because it would probably then again hurt somebody's feelings that I invented it and didn't patent it. And I'm not blaming anybody for anything.
I know who you're talking to. Well, a good idea. If it's a good idea and you want to make millions, you got that's not sit there and think about it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
But does that make the world a better place? Um, my idea is that it would be so much better if we could all put our differences aside, equally be treated, help other countries, all countries help other countries to live in the kind of life, I mean, with the money that all these countries have, and in my opinion, that would eliminate most crime, I believe, in a world like that. And if we could eliminate a lot of the stuff and live in a world where everybody is working for one goal, and that is to survive and to have a happy life, and to not be told what you're going to say and all these other things. And it just doesn't make a bit of sense.
Hmm.
And I just think it's to me it's really weird
Well, if it
when
were
we're told how to
yeah,
live our lives.
2 beers a week.
Oh yeah, 2 beers a week. But don't you agree? Like think about it this way. Let's say you're getting Rochelle here. You guys are out there doing your thing, doing monkey cage, and it's a new thing that you're doing. You're fulfilling your dreams, and there's nothing to stop you from not being successful at it. And that would be perfect world for you.
Well, the perfect world to me, when you vote for me as world leader, I'm gonna make it a law that only people could talk about positive things. If you're in politics, you're not allowed to do negative or talk about negative things. Everything in your career has to be 100% positive to all the people who put you in your position. That would be the
Right.
number one rule that I'd make. Uh, that's about it. Yeah, just everybody's got to start within their own self, honestly. And
Well,
if we're gonna be so controlled by others and so greedy to ourself that it's everybody wants to be it's mine. It's all of ours. Like this isn't your land. It's not my land. It's all of our land. It sounds like a song we grew up with back when we were
well,
kids.
yeah. We the people. I always refer to we the people as the new Americans, real Americans who have been here, who have worked to be here, who have been born here, and we we need to be, with people coming into our country, we shouldn't make it totally impossible for people to be together. However, there's people out there who have made it real bad, and this is why I'm saying if we can eliminate these things, Chris, um, this world would be so much better. I mean, think about if everybody just worked to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Can you
No
imagine the
division.
power?
When
It,
somebody's trying to make you want to divide,
mm-hmm.
that's not a good person for you to be
No,
listening to. When somebody's trying to control you and tell you, well, we don't believe you're smart enough to think for yourself or 2 beers a week, whatever you're trying to be told that it was just last year they were trying to pass into legislative that women in the United States are not allowed to drink or should not be allowed to drink. Don't get me wrong. I don't even drink probably a few beers a year, but if I wanted to, or wine or whatever, that's my body. I'm not hurting anybody. It's
no,
my body. If I want to be injected with something, it's my body, And when people are telling you, you have no choice. We're going to do away with your
right.
fans and your gas stoves and your refrigerators and your free way of thinking. It's time we
What?
stop.
Yeah, they even talked about the heating and cooling market. They're projecting that air conditioners use way too much energy, and there's other things that you can do to save energy with instead of an air conditioner. And there
Okay.
is a company who I believe is going to be trillionaires because they do have a method, and the method is actually healthier, and it will save tons of energy. And what it is just cold water. Uh, Down the road, they're saying that water filtration companies, when our filtered water comes into our houses, which we shouldn't be drinking, but when it comes into our house, they're going to have it at a chill set where how cold the water is going to be when it hits your house, and then it'll go through like a radiator and stuff that has fan. It'll be built into your system where the cool water will cool down your house. I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, I think that's a good idea, and it's already been done, but not on the level that they're trying to say. So would that make a world a better place? It's going to save energy, and we need to
That's
send it
probably
save
actually
energy. But
that's probably
first
one of the
off, we need
oldest
to be
methods.
energy independent. We need to take care of ourselves, and other countries need to take care of themselves, and just work on the same common thing. Correct? Like
Yeah.
even with your ideas.
Well, some of our ancestors that lived in caves, they had a creek running through it, and it kept the cave cool.
Yep. But in the winter, it was really cold.
Well, I actually have an idea that I don't want to patent. I'm going to give it away to you right now that can make the world a better place as far as heating and cooling. If we take a bunch of underground lines, insulated lines coming from the White House, going to our houses with all of the political hot air coming out of there, that would heat our house in the wintertime. I don't care how
It would
cold it
heat
got
the
outside.
world.
And
There's
if
so
they
much
wanted to,
BS
if they
coming
wanted to
out
keep
of it.
if they wanted to keep the world cool during the warmer months, just tune into our show. There you go.
Right, right, right. It's weird. It's really weird. I mean, I know a lot of our listeners. I think there's an actual on the side of your player there that you're seeing. There's a thing that says chat. If you click on that, you can see people are chatting to us. Well, Brenda is right now, so I'll have to show you later. I don't know if you see it or
I see
not.
it.
So you
Hi,
open up, we
Brenda.
have a little chat window now. That's pretty cool. We can do Twitter. Uh, I just have to see, how everything's looking at the time.
Well,
Kind of like I
if we did this back on Twitter, it would probably have a huge benefit for us because when they're on Mars,
have
it
Mars.
would probably be the only system that would work on Mars.
You
So,
know, that brings up here's a conversation that you remember we had over the phone. We were talking about how Mars, everybody wants to go to Mars. They want to live on Mars, and but to get to Mars and to have your body adjust to Mars is the most dangerous thing ever because it's not like you see we don't have warp speed. Um, it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 9 months to get to Mars, and that's just your body is going to be punished. So, Elon's got a lot of ideas for his starships. I mean, he like hook. He wants to be able to hook four of them together to create artificial gravity, which would be better when these people get to Mars. And but landing on Mars, that's another thing that they have to do. They have to be able to land on Mars, be able to take off from Mars and make it back up to dock with the ship. And that's right there is that's I think we're not going to see this. I don't think this is going to happen in our lifetime. I don't see it happening. But
well, no matter what planet you're on, I mean, it could be really a cold, lonely place if everything goes right, or
mhm.
it could be you want it to be as home as possible while you're there because what are you going to miss the most? Home. So I figure if you put a Walmart there, you put
Put a
a few
Walmart right
a
on, yeah, that
Walmart
would
and
be
Applebee's.
can you imagine how much it would cost to shop there?
Yeah, I'd open my own place there and put a patent on it called the Mars Bar. Karaoke at the Mars Bar.
There was your $1,000,000,000 chance, first.
Now somebody's they watch. They'll probably end up doing that. It's like, yeah, I
Yep,
heard Chris Allen talking about that one day.
yep, that was a good one, though, I'll give you
I,
that.
some of my even games that I was inventing. One of them, you take this electric fence, and if the timer goes off before you spell something out, you have to be on the electric fence. But nobody would give us nobody would patent that idea. I don't know why. It's such a great idea.
I don't know either. That'd be
I,
good punishment.
I got the idea from a cartoon called Ren and Stimpy. Don't pee on the electric fence. That would be
Oh
a
my
great
god,
game.
that show, I remember that. The creators of that show, they had been stoned all the time.
How about The Simpsons? How they're predicting the future. I was watching one the other day because I'm not into that crap. But when you look at it, and
You
it
don't
showed
even
like
call
Donald Trump and Melinda going down the escalator, and then on the cartoon that was supposed to be so many years before that, if it was for real,
right.
it had a guy that looked like Trump going down the escalator, waving. Then he put his other hand up the same exact way Trump did. And then it showed all the similarities around. I was like, no, is that for real?
That's for real. They have been predicting things for quite
So
a while.
whoever they're a psychic.
Wow, whatever they are, they're pretty accurate. And with exactly what's going on now with the electronic currency, that is right now is closer than what you may think. And to the point when electronic currency, well, our
So you tell me they're going to put electrical stimulation on our currency, like if you're getting ready to buy something that you know you shouldn't, zap.
yeah, they will control what you buy. That's
Why
for
do I
sure.
want that?
I mean, oh, hey, I want to buy some uh, stylish underwear. No, you're gonna get the uh, tidy whities. That's all
You
you
just
can
might want to
afford.
buy some good.
That's poop.
Well, it is my rubber one.
It is.
I've
It's
had
super,
more fun with this rubber
super
thing.
funny. Yeah, I just it just gets me all the time. Anytime that you just think of all these ideas, all these things to make everything work, but our government right now is just destroying this country.
That they are.
Um, and then not to mention, oh my God,
And they don't
not
like
to
for us to
mention,
tell it. They don't like for us to say that they're destroying our country and the world. It's like, so I'm not allowed to think, or I'll be in some type of jail, like Facebook jail.
mm,
Uh,
yep. And
whatever
not
happened
to
to, I mean,
mention like what has gone on just recently. The American people aren't stupid. We see what's going on now. We're more hyper aware of anything that's going on right now
this is
in
true.
this world. We are hyper aware because we don't know if we're being lied to or we're being told the truth, just like they said with aliens, all this other stuff, you know. Blessings, my brothers. Hey, look at who's here.
What would you
So
do
that's
if you found out that Biden was an alien?
wouldn't be surprised. I would tell him, "Listen, dude, I know you're trying to better our country, but you need to go back to your own planet. All
Yeah.
right, just
Why'd you
please
leave your planet to take
go."
over our planet to tell us what to do?
No, no, absolutely. It's just it's these people have to be from somewhere else
Well,
or
Like
demons.
when Obama,
They could be demons. In my opinion, I think
uh,
everything that's going on is demons.
yeah, some
And
type of demonic possession of some sort, you know.
well, I mean, it says
We
in
gotta
the
watch how we say anything. I mean, we can't even sit there and tell you what bothers us because it would offend somebody else. It's like, I can't speak my mind, you can't speak your mind, they can't speak their mind. It's like,
and
what
look
is this?
look at what we're doing right now. Look what you and I are doing right now. We know what we can't say, and it's
And
just
I'm
like,
trying so hard to be respectful. I mean, it's like everything you gotta do, you're not allowed to say, but they could say anything they wanna say and do anything they wanna do. So,
yep, and that's persecution. It's just like this. Well, you can look at it any way you want, okay, but it is persecution.
it's pretty bad when if you wanna be healthy, you gotta grow your own. You gotta do everything yourself
No,
because you can't
you
trust
won't
what
be
you're
allowed to.
eating. Yeah, that's true too. I was reading something that I think it's yesterday. Zane probably sent me something or you did about this farmer that was sued millions of dollars in California for growing crops.
Hmm.
And they're paying $2,000 for, their water bill, all this kind of crazy stuff.
That's insane. That's insane. I know that one of our friends, she lives out in Las Vegas, and it's got to be blazing hot there today. I don't know. But you
Got some
know,
great we got a great friend out in Vegas. A lot of friends too out in Vegas.
yep, yep,
She
yep. When
sent
you,
there for she was telling me she was sent there for a mission, and I was like, "Man, that is so amazing."
ain't,
I'll let
ain't
her
that
send
ain't
me.
that awesome?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just an amazing person.
Yeah,
If we all
I'm,
were motivated to do something that would make this world a better place, no matter what it is, and not just, well, I did something the year before last. No, I mean, try to do it all the time. Try to be that person that nobody else is, and maybe they'll copy from you, because
well,
there's always going to be a lot of evil things happening. But the
although
more,
we haven't even seen the
but let's
beginning
think about
of
this.
it,
If you don't have anything positive going on in your life,
right?
and you're just bombarded with negative news, negative complaining, people at work and the neighbors and the family, just every day, negative, then you're probably not going to be a very positive person yourself because you are what you're around. If
That's
you're
true.
around inspirational people, if you're around positive minded people, people just, we all know, believe me, we get it. The world has a lot of evil and a lot of bad things going on in it. We
Hmm.
know that, but step above that and be a better person with everything that you do and who you allow in your home or your environment
Right.
because,
Well,
be that
that's
positive
true.
vibe.
That's true, and on top of that, the icing on top of that is if like again, if you're working with people and there's more people like like I have a path that I'm following. I know that the Lord wants me to follow this path, and that's the path that I'm gonna follow. Regardless of what's going on back here, I have to be on guard and these other things. Like, I was talking to somebody last night about the rapture, and one of the crazy things is that, if God wants me to be here and I don't make it the first time, uh, but I very well could. He might have enough army, but I feel that my mission is to fight for, the Lord, and to be one of God's soldiers, to stand up to the persecution. Even though I know at some point I'm going to lose my life, I will be in a better place, and I just have to be strong for God. And these wars, we're hearing about these wars. We're hearing about these things that are actually going on in our country, and our government, the leaders of the world are destroying our earth, like, you know, like it's written in the Bible. We're not going to survive this. We will be in a better place.
Well, a lot of people
So,
are programmed. They're programmed. That's what
well,
a
see,
program director does. Uh, I was technical director there for a while when I went to West Virginia State, and so I got to see firsthand through the training in college what it was like. And
mhm,
we would take the money in from people that would want us to program whatever it is we're getting out there to you. And a lot of people are swearing by certain news networks or whatever. And I'm not going to get out here and talk about the news networks, who to trust, who not to trust. But if you did your research on where they got their information from and who their investors come from, that's the key
right,
ticket. Follow
right,
the money. You want to follow the science? Who's telling the science? Follow the money, because the money will take you anywhere you need to go.
yeah. Well, that's just like, you got a really good point there. And you can follow it, and every place that it's going. Just know this, folks. Whatever you're doing right now, you got to think about what's actually going on, how we're being lied to. There is one of our presidents had made it perfectly clear before that candidate ran for office that that person was going to drain the swamp. And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people understood that. I really don't think a lot of people understood it. And you can take it any way you want. But what he did is he exposed the corruption in our government.
Oh, they
And
hate
he
him for
only
that.
gave us a small glimpse. And that small glimpse is, look what it's costing this president.
Your enemy's going to tell you it's conspiracy. Don't listen to these hypocrites. Don't listen to these bigots. Don't listen to these racist. No, they're all racist. Oh, really? Because we want to believe what we believe,
That's
and
true. That's
we
true.
do our own research. But nevertheless, I'm not going to talk bad about other big agencies that go by certain letters.
Yeah, yeah. Those
Do your own
people are
research.
out there. I'd go head to head with them, because at that point you shrug your shoulders and say, "Well, do what you got to do, because there's no way I'm gonna."
Well, when they say follow the science, where's your science coming from? Especially when a lot of these people aren't even doctors, and they're honorary doctors, listed
Yeah,
as an honorary doctor, and some of these people even made viruses for computers. Got away
yeah,
with it, and then you had to buy the virus protection for your computer. Well, then you don't get in big trouble, so you do it on, maybe, say, let's humans.
you
Yeah.
know, it is what it is. So
So
I'm
here we are.
getting,
We got to have our own gardens to feel safe. We have to make our own water to be safe. And you can make your own water. You can make your own water um, systems, or you could filter your water with really good quality water filtrations. But you want to make sure there are certain chemicals that you want to aim for, that you're getting rid of out of your water.
correct.
And yeah, it's just a healthier way to live, because you can't really ever tell what's brought into your body. Remember, your body is the temple of Christ, so you want to be careful of what's in your body.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a true statement. Good job. Good job. Because it is important. Even with everything that I've been through, I've learned how to hate water. I'm drinking more water. You see me take this big old thing. It's 64 ounces. I have to drink. Look at this. I have to drink one of those a day.
Well, it's not bad.
No, it's not. But believe me, I drank more than that. Last week, I think I drank three of them in one day because I was so hot. I'm working out in the
Well,
warm weather.
if you could make your own distiller and distill your own water, completely natural, and then you don't have to worry about what's in it other than
I
the
don't
container you're
really like
storing.
the taste of
Well, I
distilled
know, but let me
water.
finish. Then you put your own micronutrients, your minerals, and your vitamins that you're mixing in with the water to give it the flavor that you design. It's just like coffee, for example. In my coffee cup here, I use cinnamon powder, I use cinnamon cream, I use cinnamon creamer, I use cinnamon coffee, and I use cinnamon sticks, and it's all organic. Every bit of it's organic. And if I haven't mentioned, I love cinnamon, but you can
But
program your own water to whatever flavor and however you
another
want.
conspiracy. Another conspiracy. How do we know that it's organic?
That's true. But if you did it your own self and you had seeds from a
Mhm.
bank that were, you know, good seeds, not genetically modified organisms,
You're right.
because a lot
You
of seeds actually are programmed with a built-in like an insecticide
mhm.
that would sterilize the insects so they wouldn't breed out of control. They also have, I remember back, I think it was in the 70s, they were making it where they were drought resistant. There's so many things that they're doing genetically modifying the crops. And when you find yourself driving down these long country roads and you see this brand of corn growing over here and this brand of corn growing over here, but then when it cross pollinates, and they go back and forth with each other, then you're going to develop your own corn, which would be a different generation from that.
Well, that's why they say, like, if I was to buy um, watermelons, if I was to buy a watermelon and I was to put the seed, and the seed was to develop a watermelon, okay? So to prevent what you're talking about is with that one seed that you grow the first time, and let's say you grow a bunch of watermelons from that one seed, the next generation is going to be degraded. So the way that they get around it is, I just learned this from somebody just recently. Grow a seed, let it create from one seed, let it create one watermelon from that one seed, instead of, because you can get how many watermelons on a vine?
A bunch. Yeah.
And so the closest thing to the seed is going to be your number one seed that you can generate, and then the next couple generations, you're taking away that stuff. It's just like strawberries. It's the same thing with strawberries. You can't keep strawberries in one place. You have to move them to get the bigger berries. Don't ask me why, but that's how
Well,
it
it
is.
was all created by God, and it was
Mhm.
created positively because we need it to survive. And so he gives us the gift of life through what we eat.
Yes, sir.
And, when you're growing healthy foods and you're eating healthy foods, you are a healthier person. And that all has a lot of things. Are chemtrails real? The air, the gases, if you live near, some type of big chemical plant, are they really safe? If you're around a mine, are you breathing silicates or different type of minerals that are like not healthy for you?
Right.
Um, Everything about, just make sure that you're living a healthy life. If you want to, like Bob Barker made it to what, 99?
Yeah, he made it to 99. I mean, hated to see the guy go, but
Oh
he
yeah.
was up there. So I
Well,
mean,
how's it, by the way, how would he be memorized? How would he be thought of to you for the rest of your life? How you best remember Bob Barker?
my Bob Barker, boy, Truth or Consequences. I think that show.
Every time I hear this word, remember spade and neuter your pets.
Yeah, that usually tells you somebody
How he held that
doesn't have a lot of
microphone
animals.
so prim and properly. Behind curtain number one.
He did The Price is Right too.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think I remember him more for that. Yeah, he was really good at it. But um, boy, going back in the past is so much different than it is today. I mean, uh,
Well,
I
it's
you
not
know,
really changed all that much because I want to interrupt that real quick before you get. For example, I just got in the mail the other day. Facebook sent me my own jail, just like on Mayberry. I
uh-huh.
self-incarcerate myself, especially during election time.
Oh
And,
man,
with electronic currency, they only let me out every so often.
you're not gonna make it.
No.
You're not gonna make it through election
I try.
time. You might as well just take a vacation from Facebook.
Well, at
This
least
is
it's
this will be the only way you'll get to Facebook is through this.
I spent a
Or we
lot
might
of
both get booted. Who knows?
well, Rochelle, she got, she's now an inmate, twice since she's met me. Such an innocent, sweet person, and she's got 30 minutes in Facebook jail twice. Like, how do you only get 30 minutes in Facebook jail?
Nah, I know, man. I don't know. The
That's like a
worst I
hardened
got
criminal.
right before Elon took over Twitter, which is now X. I love it that he did that. But
Oh, yeah.
anyway, none of my stuff gets censored anymore, like it did. But right before that, I was in a month. I was in 30 days Twitter jail because I told someone they look like a scarecrow. So
Really? That got you 30 days?
it was a celebrity.
You remember that pitch? And then how they circulate stuff on there, and it's like, "Oh, this is so cool. I'm gonna share it." And then you get 6 months in jail. I remember I shared one about Jeffrey Dahmer with his dumping his ex. He was on a toilet. I mean, it was a sick sense of humor. Yes, I understand. People aren't just sick like I am. I got a really sick sense of humor. I thought it was funny, so I shared it on Facebook, and I think it was 6 months of jail I got for sharing that.
Right.
It's like, wow.
Well, yeah, that was a long time for you. I remember that one.
I mean, I could hear him when he was like, "I'm gonna dump him." 6 months.
Oh, you really hurt somebody's feelings. See,
Yeah.
but that means you're doing your job. You're out there getting people. I don't like to attack anybody. I don't like to do that. But there are some things on Twitter before, Elon bought it out. There was things on Twitter I could not believe that they were being allowed to say these things. But just recently, so it was last night or the night before, there was a big post that went out, AOC, that on the first that she would close down her account. And I tweeted, I said, there ain't no way you'll be back. They always come back. And sure enough, she tweeted something this morning about, I'm so glad that I left. And I'm like, well, you're still here. You're still here.
But,
I
it seemed
mean,
like all this started from back in the day with Tom, MySpace.
oh my God.
Was he
Yeah.
sitting on a toilet? What was he sitting on? But he was always sitting there with that sneaky look on his face like, "Yeah, yeah, don't walk in here."
That was probably that first cell phone selfie, with the flip phone or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. "I got a razor."
You know, it's just weird. I mean, it's I don't know.
Probably back
Um,
in the beginning with MySpace, it was more like this when you enter your phone. "Hello?"
or yeah, or trying to send text messages through a keypad. Like I never did it. I just said, I'll just call you. My first text messaging phone was an iPhone 3, and I have that phone. Um,
How long ago was an iPhone 3?
God, that had to been
Prehistoric.
2000, 2000. I have no idea. If someone could find out and let me know when was the iPhone 3 first. I could look that up if you keep
Yeah.
talking.
Well, I mean, back in the day when they had the first car phones, it looked like a home phone. And then we had these things called phone booths where you put money into it. I took my kids out to a phone booth one time and they didn't really know what it was. And I had to explain to
Okay,
them that's how we used to make phone calls.
2008
Wow.
is when I had 2008,
And
and
you still have
that
it?
was the 3, and now I have the 13 Pro Max.
Is it bigger now than it was
Oh,
then? Or
much bigger. Next time we do a show, I'll actually show you a comparison because I still have my 3. I
how much
actually
how
have
much
my
better
4.
is it?
How much better? A lot better. I charged that thing up and connected it to the internet, and it went, it didn't know where to go.
Uh,
Oh my god. The "Oh, you have updates." It said something about updates, and I was like, it had more updates than the phone had space on it. I don't know.
Let me test your memory. Where did this come from? You've got mail.
Oh, AOL.
Yeah.
I remember my first email address when I got AOL. "You got mail." I smiled ear to ear, and I go, "Alright." And then you wait, and there's no one to send you any mail. And when you get mail, you're, like, all excited, and it's some spam or something like
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say mine would be always like, "You got mail." And then it's like, you find out that the mail you opened had a virus that you got, and then you have to buy this person's virus cleaning to clean that.
Yeah, well, yep. I had the Toshiba, um, uh, 286, which had Windows, 3.5 on it, 3.5.
Yeah.
And I paid $5,800 for that one laptop. And I
Wow.
thought I had PC miler. That's when I was out driving truck, and that's how I did so well uh, on my logbooks and everything because I had a built-in logbook. But anyway, so
The
I
year
thought
was
I
in
had
19
a thriller.
the
What's
year
that?
was in the year was in 1982 or 83. I bought the first the Texas Instrument TI 99 4A. I hope I got that right. But it was the first computer that I ever had, and it would take all day just to make a little dot go out in the middle of the screen and explode or whatever.
I remember first spreadsheets I worked on. It was for a production company that I owned in the day, and we had a computer. And here, this shows you at my age. My business ran off from business books. We didn't have Excel. We didn't have a computer at the time, and it was like
When
a
you
big
when you opened your screen, did it have disco that played?
no. Get John Travolta
Whoop.
coming across the, "Ooh," but
No, that's when you
you
get a
you know,
virus. Ooh,
speaking
ooh,
speaking
ooh, got a virus, got a virus. Ooh, ooh.
uh, speaking about, this is something that was I watched not too long ago. It was the speaking of disco, who was the biggest disco writers of the age was we all know was the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees were the top ones. They wrote so many of those songs for other artists to sing. And these guys were very talented. But they went through some really bad stuff, troubles. Two of the brothers are dead. Barry's the only one that's alive, and it's just the story. You got to see the documentary if you ever
I
get
did
an
watch it,
opportunity.
I loved it. In fact,
Oh,
I
you
got
did
put
watch
yeah, and I got put in jail because of them.
it. What'd you say?
It's not what I said, it's what I did. I'll never forget, I shared this video, these guys couldn't sing, they were singing baritone. The
Oh,
producer went out, kicked 'em in the private area, and then they sang just like the Bee Gees, and I got Facebook jail over that.
oh man, you hurt somebody's feelings who likes the Bee
Yeah.
Gees. Oh my God, here we go again. Censorship. That's all it is. And if censorship doesn't get any worse, it's like our phones. Our phones. It sucks because there's a lot of people that can't live without their phones. I've seen actually. I have a finance manager who told me just to get a flip phone, and I looked at him like,
Have you ever read the con
never gonna happen.
have you ever actually read the contract on any phone that you get?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
The contract, if you read it in real slow and have it, interpreted into English from, their way they speak, it's pretty crazy, they own your first unborn child.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then they own a lot of what I don't know what
Well,
they
the
own.
point is, if you wanna sign up for any of
Oh
these
no.
apps, you gotta give up all your permissions for everything. Yeah,
Mhm.
you could look at all my photos, you could listen to my videos, you could read my messages, you could do all that, just give me your free service.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. People would be surprised at how much I start turning off my phone and uh, just to restart it. Every so often I do that, and when I go to shut it down, it says this phone can be tracked when the power's turned off. I'm like, well, what's the sense of turn? Power
Yeah,
off
think
it.
about it. Where do you take your phone? If you go take a shower, your phone's with you, so they might be watching you shower or
Or hearing
else
you having a
plop, plop,
conversation
fizz,
in the
fizz.
shower,
Oh, what a relief it was.
and then you come out and you hear the commercial. Yeah, yeah.
If
They they're
that
listening.
probably, butt hurt somebody what I just said. If I'm not talking that's a commercial for, Pepto-Bismol.
No. Plop, plop. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah,
Well, we were in the bathroom, so I wanted to clarify that.
yeah. No, that was Alka-Seltzer, not
Was it really? Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You had me for a second, all of a sudden my mind started going, "No, no, 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 no,
Remember
no."
that comedian that was talking about back in the day when our moms would always soak us with Vicks? That was my mom.
Shit, it was what?
She would soak me with Vicks, like, take a washcloth and put it on my chest if I had a cold.
Vicks.
Vicks. Yeah, oh my
I
gosh, she
thought
was
put a D in front of that. That's what I thought you said.
No, I wasn't brought up like that.
I heard that, that's why I said, "You wanna say that again?" I didn't hear that right. And then when you said it the second time, I go, "He did say that."
No, he
And then
didn't.
you started rubbing on
Vicks,
the chest
Vicks,
like,
rub it
"Vicks,
Vicks,
Vicks."
not Dicks. Robert, my god.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, seriously, I mean, you've been talking to me for every day, almost going on 3 years. So, you know that you've seen my mind go through some really changes.
Well, yeah. But, speaking of changes, what you went through, can I talk about that?
Yeah, you can talk about that, that's fine.
He was going around he was in coma for a long period of time,
Mhm.
and every single day in his dream, if you wanna call it a dream, I don't know what you would call it, a dream, a different, what do you call it, a level of life that you were living, but he was alive, and he
That's
was
right.
doing everything just like what we're doing today, but just differently. He was going around zapping people, cryogenics. If they were bad people, he gave you the choice don't be bad or else.
Yep,
And
that's it,
people had
yep.
to make the world not so full of people. They came up with this way of doing it. It was putting people in a deep freeze, like you, your family, or your friends, or whoever, your dog, or whatever, would all be frozen for X amount of years. And then you'd come unfrozen and you're back into your realm of life. But when you're in your frozen stage, if you had bad teeth, they fixed it. If you had cancer, they got rid of it. If you had any health issue, they fixed it if it was fixable
Mhm.
inside of this frozen stage that your body was in. And if you wanted to be a doctor, then you'd be programming to be a nurse or a doctor or an entertainer. You're being programmed in your sleep while you're sleeping. So when you come out, you're a master of whatever it was that you went in for, like if it were to be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or what have you. But the thing
No
was,
lawyers,
there were
no
no
lawyers.
evil no, well, I guess you would need lawyers, but there were no evil people in this
No.
realm because if they were bad people, they went after them, they got rid of them. Once they're gone, they were gone, there were no more.
Yeah, that was quite, you hit the nail on the head on that. Yeah, it's I'm glad you remembered that because when you start to tell the story, it makes me start to think, "Oh, yeah, he's right on the money." How everything happened was a different world. I was living in a different world. I was living in a parallel universe, and I know that now. And as close as I came to death, and but the war between the good and the evil, that kind of goes back to what I was talking about with one of our friends last night, and I was telling her, there's this after we actually talked about it earlier tonight, but the rapture and all these other things. So we definitely there's a war coming, and whether I got to see the future, what the future may hold, I think that's a good thing. But there's going to be a lot of death. I know that. I know that there's a lot of death, and there's going to be a long, long war, and we all have to be ready for this. So one of the biggest things I think, wrapping up here tonight, I think one of the things we all have to look at, and that is to make this world a better place. We have to stand up for what our rights are. We have to defend our Constitution. Other countries will respect us more for doing that than to, come at us because we know that there's a lot of bad people here in the United States. In the last couple of years, we know that there's thousands, if not millions, of people coming into our country, and we don't know these people, what they're capable of doing. They could form the.
They try to make it racism and division,
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you're picking on the Mexicans." Like, "Oh, we're not picking on anybody from Mexico. We
No,
don't
we
know
don't
where
do
they're
that.
we have people that are terrorist pods that come into America from other countries outside of, that,
Mhm.
and so we just wanna be safe on who's in here." I lost a few friends a while back, during a past president over that because he took me wrong. It's like, not anyone from any country is welcome here as long as you come here, you're an American. You're not coming here to bring your country and the problems you're escaping to our country. We don't need that. We are a melting pot and always have been a melting pot of different cultures, and it adds flavor to your country. But what we do when you come here, you assimilate to be an American, and that's on one side of the fence. And on the other side of the fence, if people are sitting there trying to divide you and make you hate people for whatever reason,
Right.
this isn't about, putting re-welding the doors shut. It's about protecting a country and entering any country, not just America, but any country safely. You don't want somebody coming into your country to do harm to your people. That's common sense.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. I think everything that we do right now is anything. It's kind of like I told this one girl one time, and this might you might agree with it. Everything that you do right now, every choice that you make right now affects your future.
Yeah.
Make the right choices.
I want to say something real fast too. I know we're running out of time, but when you have to remember, we had a past president tell us that we were not smart enough to think for ourselves, that the government had to govern for us. If you have to be told how to think, how to breathe, what to do, 2 beers a week, whatever it would be,
2 beers a week. That's
you
just
know, I just can never relate to somebody like that.
right.
If you do things that you're scared to death and they're telling you that you have to wear something, whatever it is, you know, to feel safe, that's your business. But
Mhm.
regardless, we don't need people sitting there putting a lie or a fear or something that may not be truthful out there, because then you don't know when you can trust people. And then you have a confused world that this network is telling us the truth and this one is, propagated full of evil sins and lies.
Right.
It may be the other way around. And I'm not taking it for any network, but your networks should be out there telling you the God's awesome truth, and if they're not, and they're making a division on what they're saying, or trying to put one person away because he tried to make a person a better country. That's what MAGA stands for. Make
Right.
America great again. Why was that such a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing? Make your country great again. It's because Orange Man said it, I guess. But regardless, whoever said it, whoever says it, make your country great again is a great thing.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. Now we have some other shows coming up actually. October 1st, we have a new one of our first guests. Zane got us a guest, and what's this person's name?
You caught me on the spot. I don't. That was Zane's cookie.
Sorry, Zane. Sorry, the guy, the beer guy. Oh, Pam's saying hi to us. Hey, Pam. So
Hi, Pamela.
yeah. Um. So the guy that owns the beer guy. What's his name? He's gonna send us beer.
You caught me off guard. Uh, Zane
Oh
set all
no.
that up for us, and he told me about it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I could look at his text message, but anyway, we have a guest coming up soon. We'll be better, and then we have another a young lady that's going to be joining me on video uh, sometime in the real near future on a new platform that we have. It's called "And God's People Say." You can go there, and we'll be having some discussions over there as well as here. And we want to get her on there. And then we have Pam that's going to be doing a show with me. Not too long. I mean, even possibly sometime next week, we'll be doing a show as well. So, do you have any last parting thoughts, Chris?
I do. Happy Labor Day to all you mothers out there that are pregnant.
You're gonna get You're gonna get it. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful evening. God bless.
God bless.